And we've decided collectively we're not going to do any intro.
I think so. I think we just get straight into it.
Get straight into. Well, you know what? Let's get into it then. Let's work out what we're pretending to know this time. I'm going to hit the button.
Yeah.
Drum roll, please. That's the softest drum roll I've ever heard.
It's really loud here. Hang on, let me get the mic ready.
There we go. Okay. Our survey says, "Wow, dude, this is a good one."
Okay.
Do athletes deserve the high salaries they receive? Why or why not? Yeah, both two very athletic people as
very are. Yes.
It's this. So I can. It's a tough one because I mean, like, I think so like on one end, I can see both sides of the argument. On one end, it's like, okay, if the point of like salary, like high salaries, is you're looking in terms of like societal contribution.
Yes,
they are contributing entertainment, so that's like a tick in the four.
Yeah.
On the other end of the spectrum, some of them are just kicking a ball about.
Oh, that you see, you've pinpointed a sport there. Your bias towards football has.
Well, okay, picking a sport or running fast, running real fast.
There is a skill to pushing your body to the extremes, so I can see that. That's another one for the four.
Okay, yeah,
like,
yeah.
However, I suppose as well, like it can't like there's a whole thing around the mentality of performing a sport in front of a crowd.
Also, like don't quote me if I'm wrong, but like Olympic athletes, I don't think they're paid well.
I don't think Olympians are. No, I think that's more. But like, if you're in rugby team, or whatever, I think that kind of plays
better.
More.
No, okay, so okay, we don't know, but like, let's go down.
No, I don't know.
No, it might just my knowledge. Football players paid the most. Like, okay, if we think about athletes who are paid like an obscene amount, football players, because
are they athletes? What is the definition of an athlete?
Someone who does a sport.
Is it but is it competition? Because
would you consider like a chess player? Are they an athlete?
No. But is it? But then what? I'm thinking about the days in PE.
Right.
They would say to me, like, today we're doing athletics, so we're going to do like the one where you have to go over the things.
Yeah, hurdles.
You've got hurdles. Yeah. Or you've got like where you have to go on like a cross country run, like. Yeah. But that was like the PE definition of athletics. Whereas other days they'll be like, today we're playing rounders. Today and that seemed to be grouped separately. Now that might be my non-sporty mind.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fully understanding.
But I think it's so the way I'm working with it, if it's sport, it's athletics. That's how I'm working on it. But that's what I mean. So you hear about, like, I remember hearing that a lot of, like, at least the Olympic who just it was in the Tokyo Olympics just gone. A lot of like the athletes are like doctors, or like, you know, they like either the athletic part doesn't fund them full time, or like they're just like, well, I run like in the mornings, and then I guess I got to do something else. I guess I'll become a doctor or something. But but that's what I mean. It's like, it seems like they probably should get paid more. I don't know. Yeah,
I suppose they get their money through, I don't know, sponsorships.
Yeah.
Is that how, like, because people be like, I'll wear a t-shirt and I'll have your company name on it.
Okay, so in the terms of like Olympic athletes, though, it's like the sponsorships are on like not an individual basis. They're on like
normally like Team GB has
like
certain sponsors.
It's always Quorn. No, Quorn. Like the you know what I'm about? Like no, you know what I'm, like the sort of like corn
like
chicken.
Like the mushroom pieces.
Mushroom chicken. Like but it's not real chicken, it's like fake chicken. You always see like Mo Farah like eating a sandwich or like cooking like a thing. It's like, oh, it's not real.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's like so. But yeah, okay. You know what? I think that like on this show, are we allowed to Google things, or is that against the essence of the show?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can Google.
All right. So I'm going to do GB Olympian. Olympian salary.
What's Tom Daley get? I bet he gets a lot.
So apparently, UK Sport estimate that these benefits somewhere between 36,000 to 60,000 a year.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. But you know, how much do Olympians get paid? But yeah, apparently it's the US. They're talking about like they get paid per like medal won.
Oh,
that's what I mean. I honestly don't know. Yeah, it's like.
But is that a cash bonus on top of salary? I suppose if there's not an Olympics, if there's not, I'll try again. Yeah. If there's not an Olympics on that year,
yeah, what are they doing?
Yeah, do they get paid? Because they're still training for it, aren't they?
So apparently, again, so going back for Team GB, there is the British Olympic Association, and they fund the, you know, Great Britain's participation. But that's what I mean. Is like, so it seems like that, you know, there's at least something in, and I feel like it makes sense. Like, okay, if you're going to represent Great Britain or country, it makes sense that the country should have some sort of organization to pay you. But then I keep going back to football just because they are exceedingly well paid, like bafflingly so. They got like multi-million deals.
Which seems unethical. But I think that the way that I kind of feel about football, I think a lot of it isn't about the footballers as such. It's about the fans that have made that happen. Like, not just the fans, but obviously the organizations themselves have made it happen.
I think like there's like a lot of news about like FIFA, the organization itself, being pretty dodgy, like
shady. I cannot speak. Like I've got absolutely no idea. I'm just thinking about that. I watched the live feed of the Euros recently. Yeah. So I didn't watch the football, but I watched. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I watched the live feed of the fans standing in London, like in Trafalgar Square or in Leicester Square, like dotted everywhere. And they were feral.
Oh, you're like, doing the like the smash of the bottles and the stuff like that.
Yeah, like the mess left behind. And it was, I was like, oh my God. And like, but the thing is, like, this kind of atmosphere has become like part of the sport.
I think it's like the sort of like, was it like football hooliganism?
Yeah.
To give it like, in fact, there's been like films about it. So I think it's like well documented that at least within the UK, people like just kind of gravitate towards a film and they kind of have that as like a kind of like a central part of their like identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the way I'm linking this to wage is like this kind of like, that's the scientific term of
lad.
Yeah. That kind of mentality then becomes almost like a one-upmanship of like how can you show support for your team? How can you prove that your team is the best team? And
here's the thing. I guess you got to think about it. It's like, okay, so they wouldn't be paying footballers like that much salary if they weren't making that much money.
But it's a huge industry. If you think about how much a football top costs.
No, so that's what I mean. It's like they all this money. Like again, I think any company isn't going to be like, oh, we should really go out of our way to make sure our they're paid really well. It's like, no, dude, this is the only way that we can kind of like keep people in because it's like we're literally drowning in cash. We have to give it. We got to give it to our employees because it's like insane.
Yeah. But if you think about it, they've got like a kit for when they're at home, a kit for when they're away, and then a kit like for next time it comes around. Like, and it's crazy.
Yeah, like stadium tickets and stuff like that, and then like obviously like, and there's that Mitchell and Webb joke about it. That there's no end to the football.
There is no end to it.
There's no end. Like I guess it's that case of like, oh, this year they've won the football, but next year there'll be more football, and they might not win again.
Yeah.
And it's like the Euro.
Someone did try to explain to me the leagues. And I was like, oh no, because I get confused between leagues and
Premiership,
maybe, because there's different types of competition, but there's also within those competitions there's different levels of
there's because there's a lot of, I imagine there's a lot of football clubs in the UK and they can't have them all within the same competition, I don't think, because again,
that makes
on
sense.
one end of the spectrum there's players with like 50 million salaries, and there's like on the far end of the spectrum just like a dad part-timing, just like
you can't have like the local like Buntingford football team up against Chelsea. That wouldn't be fair. Like I understand that completely, but like
so, but I don't know, it's a weird, I mean, like, I mean, I guess comparatively the Olympics doesn't, I guess, generate, well, I don't know how much money the Olympics kind of generate.
I don't know, because wasn't the Tokyo Olympics, they were talking about how much money
they lost.
But don't they win it they win the right to host it? So I'm guessing there's some kind of grant money with that, because suddenly like the country's like, whoa,
there was a big hoo-ha. There was a big hoo-ha because, like, obviously I think Japan and as a country they kind of didn't want to have the Olympics because of, again, the pandemic and everything, but because of the way the Olympic organizers go is the fact that they can't cancel the Olympics without kind of voiding a contract and having to pay back like a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, and they've also got future contracts, haven't they? So they've already said, well, we can't miss it, because if we miss it, the next Olympics has already been decided where it's going to be. Yeah. So you can't do that. Like, it's so.
Okay. So the weirdest part, I guess, about so part of the question was like, do athletes deserve a high salary? In the Olympic sense, there are some people who like train their life; they work really hard. There are some cases where people are getting paid just because they got the good genes.
Yeah.
They got you've literally you've been born with flippers for hands and legs, and we're going to put you in a swimming competition. And just because of the way you've been born with flippers for hands and legs, you swim fast, you swim real good, and we're going to pay you to just do that.
But also that isn't. I do believe that there is yes, there is a bit. That is, sorry, that was probably a really loud swallow.
Nothing came through. I
was like, but there was this, there is a big amount that you're born with, but I also think that you have to hone that skill.
Oh yeah, I think,
and without that honing of it. So I do believe, although some people are like, put me in water, I will go first.
Yeah.
I also think that unless they work at that skill, that they'll lose that.
I guess it's in
the
terms
muscle.
of
have you seen the muscle that people have to have?
Oh, dude,
they're insane. They're walking triangles.
The funniest
arms and shoulders.
The funniest ones are the sprint cyclists. Like they're literally they're just like, their thighs are obscenely huge. And they just honestly, you can't, there's that video online of one of these sprinting cyclists powering a toaster with his cycling. That's he's just cycles that fast, and that's supposed to be that he can power a bloody toaster.
Yeah.
But no, I think you're right, because I guess it's a case of okay, so if you in terms of from zero to the fastest you can physically be.
Yeah.
A good chunk of that, or some of that, is going to be just the way that your body built. Some people have massive lung capacities that can just, or they have a sort of heart that can kind of work well in short bursts, or actually that's, again, I don't know. I know the heart beating's important. You don't want it to beat too fast or something. There's
that's a problem with athletes. Athletes are
problems.
more likely to have heart attacks, and they just drop down dead. And that terrifying. That's the reason I don't exercise.
So maybe they should get a high, they should get that high salary, because they could. They're putting their bodies on the line.
Literally, that level of stress, and I don't understand. I want to say the word cortisol is involved.
I don't know this word.
I don't know. It might be mouthwash. I don't know. I think cortisol is an acid made by your muscles. It might be a mouthwash.
What is the effect? The stress hormone. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, increases sugars in the bloodstream, enhances your brain's use of glucose, and increases the availability of substances that repair tissue.
Well, that sounds like a good thing.
Too much cortisol can be the hallmark signs of Cushing syndrome, a fatty hump between your shoulders.
I think mine's just fat.
Oh, wait, is this what you've got? Is this? Where's this coming from?
I've got a hump between my shoulders.
Oh no, you've got Cushing syndrome.
No, I don't think I've never exercised in my life. Matthew, it's not it.
but yeah, no. Sorry, you think
it's a thing. Like it is a thing that can cause either heart attack or it's dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we've kind of come around to like, I guess it's a combination of like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, yeah, they should get paid, a decent amount if there's the interest for it. And then on the other end of the spectrum, like, I guess it is like supply and demand. Like, if a bunch of people are interested in it and a bunch of people love it, and they're not causing absolute harm in enjoying football per se.
I'm a big believer as well in nobody needs anything in that amount of excess in terms of money. Like I that's not something I've got against like footballers or rugby players or whatever. Any person who earns an excessive amount of money, I just don't get it. Like I can't remember what the percentage is that people say like owns the majority of the wealth.
Oh, it's something like, it may even just be like under like 1%.
Is it? Yeah, because I've heard like people talk about the 1% before, so it might be. But like that's what I've got a problem with. It's not about anybody not being well paid for their job. As long as they have enough to live, good on them. If they have too much, share the love.
Also, so here's so say thought exercise. Say we're both athletes.
Yes.
I was born with flippers for feet.
Yeah.
That's So I'll be
I'm a track star.
Okay, yeah, I'll be a swim boy.
Okay.
And if they were just like, we can pay you a salary to do that every day.
Yeah.
Would there always be like, I don't know, because I don't know if I would be like would you want that as like a main job? Because I can sort of understand, like, again, using the Olympic example of like a lot of these athletes, they have other jobs.
Yeah.
And they kind of like do the like athletic stuff kind of around the rest of their life. But I don't know. It's a hard one, isn't it? Because would you? I just think, I guess being an athlete isn't really like anything else, because you can't it's not like clocking in like 9 to 5.
No.
Or is it? Do I just like, with my flipper feet, I come up to the, swimming pool, I hop in at 9 o'clock and I don't leave till 5.
People start like so early as well. Like I remember when I was watching the Olympics this year, some of the people who were they were on the bar and they were doing like little
gymnasts.
But is that their sport? There was 3 different sports they did. They did a floor thing where they were doing flips on a bouncy floor.
Yeah.
And then they did the bar thing, and then they did the spinning thing.
The hoops. I think it's all
it wasn't hoops. It was like a bar where they like woo.
I think it is all gymnastics.
But they were all teenagers.
Yeah.
I remember when I was at school, there was a boy in my class who was going swimming every single day before school, and I couldn't do it.
I guess that's another thing as well. It's like I honestly thought the Olympics had like an age limit. Like I don't know. But I guess like, okay, well, say you are like a 15-year-old child and you're like a real good swimmer.
Yeah.
I guess. Why the fuck not? Why not enter the Olympics?
Yeah, but then like I think as well, the trouble with that is like with my experience like of seeing kids in school and when I was teaching them, the pressures that are put on teenagers today, like my A-level course alone, like when I first started teaching A-level, it was 2 components. It was philosophy and it was a religion component.
No,
it wasn't. Sorry, it was an ethics and a religion component. And then they changed the course, added a whole extra third of the course.
Yeah.
And we're just like, crack on. You've got the same amount of time to teach it. The kids have got the same amount. And that's insane. And if that's happening across the board in every single subject, how on earth would you have time to prepare for an athletic sport?
It feels almost
train every morning, or
it feels almost like the sort of like child celebrity side of things, of like where their parents are like, I don't know, because like but maybe we're just, Catherine, maybe we're just not driven. Maybe we're just like, we just don't like, if a kid was honestly like, I want to be an Olympic athlete, and the parents are like, all right, fine. But I don't know.
Well, do you remember we went to that after school club?
Yeah.
And we hated it. And we would both just sit in the corner and just wait for mum to pick us up.
I do not remember this. It makes sense that I would have probably emotionally blocked it out in some way.
Yeah, like honestly, we are not social beings naturally.
Yeah.
So I think
maybe that's that's another angle. It's like we're so far detached from an athlete in like so many different dimensions: sociability, physicality, mentality.
Well, that's it. Did you do any clubs at school?
No, I don't think so.
No, I didn't either.
No, I don't.
No.
I did.
The only thing I did
an after school RE class.
I did too. Was that to get a full course GCSE?
That was to get a full course GCSE.
Full course GCSE. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
In terms of, you get some children who are so like in every single club that they can absolutely be in.
Yeah.
We were never that. And maybe that's why we are the couch potatoes.
Why? Now, come on now. I do. I don't know if you know. I do squash now. I do some rock climbing.
You did it once this morning.
I've there's a trend. I've done it more than once.
Okay.
But yeah, I think honestly, I think we're on the same page here. I think we're like, yeah, I guess so. That, like, do athletes deserve the high salaries they get? Yeah. Just a little cat action, and there we go,
and she's gone.
Yeah, but I mean, like yeah. Do we agree, or are we just like, obviously our conversation was a smidgen nuanced than that, but
yeah, I think pay them so they can live comfortably, maybe even slightly more than that, but don't give them excessive amounts of money.
Yeah,
because don't give anybody excessive amounts of money.
Yeah.
Like, looking at you, Jeffrey Bezos.
I don't think.
Sorry, stop. I've got a very precarious setup.
Yeah. I don't think, is this going to be solved anytime soon? You just have to.
I'll just hold it.
Yeah. Okay. I like you're like staring off screen as if there's like. You know, like, was it like when there's like a live broadshow performance and like there's someone off screen going, you need to stop right now. Yeah, that's like you with the cat, just like,
what is she going to be doing next?
Well,
dear.
I don't think I've really got anything else to add. I mean, yeah, we've kind of covered it.
Yeah, I don't think we've added any knowledge.
Do we ever?
No. It's only been 2 times so far, so yeah. I think last time maybe there was a little bit of no, there wasn't.
I can't even remember what we spoke about last time.
We spoke about the internet.
We did internet usage, yeah. So
yeah,
if anything, yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
like I don't think I can even name fame.
I can't name fame.
I don't think I can name 5 athletes. Full stop.
I think we went over this before. Like Tom Daley, and you know Tom Daley because he knits rather than the sport that he does.
He crochets.
Sorry.
Maybe he does a bit of knitting on the side, but it was definitely
big diver.
Who's a big diver?
No,
Tom Daley.
Tom Daley's big. I think you only really proved my point. Then I'll be honest, the only other athletes I can name are like really out of date footballers.
Like who?
Like Michael Owen, David Beckham.
Yeah.
I know Michael Phelps. He's the US.
He's a swimmer.
I know Mo Farah.
Yes, I know Mo Farah. Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt. There you go. We got a 6. Then
and Jess Ennis.
Jess Ennis, tennis? No, not tennis.
No, I don't know if that's her name.
I know there's Serena Williams, tennis.
Yes. I see you went from Ennis to tennis. Okay.
Ennis to tennis. I'm trying to think of there was
is it Jess Ennis?
Jess Ennis. It sounds right. No one's going to fact
check. It could be. Like, why not?
Yeah. Let's try and get two more. Lady athletes.
There's the one that pooped herself. She's famous. Like, she's a famous
for shitting herself.
Yeah, when she was on a run, because she was so in it. Like, she was like, I need to go, but I also need to win.
Wow.
And frankly, admirable.
That's a level of commitment I don't think I'll ever be on. But either way,
maybe her name's Paula.
We'll just say Paula shits herself.
she's a really famous lady. Like
yeah.
Like, unfortunately, that's what she's famous for now, and I feel awful.
Jeez, I guess that is like unfortunately, sometimes it's like, you can't really.
She did it on national television. Like,
oh, jeez. There's the US gymnast who recently stepped out of the Olympics.
Is it Simone Biles?
Hey,
I might have ruined her name there. It was definitely Simone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. We got 10 athletes. There you go. Maybe we should have started with that as that's how much we know about the topic, rather than we've just chatted all this shit about how we think they do or don't deserve pay, and now at the end of it, we've kind of said we kind of know some of it.
Another question.
Oh, okay. This will be the last question, though.
Okay. Are Formula One racers athletes?
I think so.
Do you reckon?
I think, yeah. Honestly, Gav, I'm at that stage where
is Lewis Hamilton in that mix?
I say just fuck it. Everyone's an athlete, You do esports, electronic sports. They're all athletes,
Yeah.
You're playing video games for that's sport. You're doing chess. That's a sport. Driving fast in a car. That's a sport.
So I think what we've clarified is our definitions of things are very loose.
Words suck ass.
Yeah.
So you know what, and that's our definition, and that's what we're going to do. And there you go.
The question.
What is the question?
No, I remember the first part of it, but there was a second part to it.
Yeah, why or why not?
No, not sure I know what the first part was.
Do athletes deserve the high salaries they receive? Why or why not?
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
So there you go.
I think we've answered that.
Yeah, for any athletes out there listening worried about their paycheck, don't worry. Between the two of us, we've determined you're safe for now. Assuming
for a median amount. If you earn more than that, I don't know what a middle, you've got a good middle amount.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Whatever you've got, half it.
Let's just say we're not going to define the bracket in any way, shape, or form. We'll just say if it's over 1 million, maybe just bring it down a little bit.
No, even that's too high. Over 100,000.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, really... over 100,000. It's too much. Oh, that's 100,000 a year. What do you do with that? What would you do with that amount of money? You can't.
But Catherine, where am I going to put my 3 Lamborghinis?
That's essential for my sport.
Yeah. I have my driving one, I have my shopping one, and then I just like the look of this stuff.
It's just pretty. Yeah, cool. Under 100,000. Are we agreed?
We're done.
Okay, cool. That's the amount that they're allowed. Cool.
We're done.
Nice.